So there's this piece of equipment called Stingray. Law enforcement has it, and they can use it to track your every move.
So as we move forward in time, new technology brings lots of positive things into our life, but it also brings a lot of intrusiveness. Our privacy, our lives continue to get better. You have your Google Home. You can tell Google to turn off the lamps. I was in a hotel last week, and could you believe I had to get up and turn the lights off? I couldn't say Google.
You didn't even know what to do with yourself.
Google, turn off the lights. But technology has brought so much to us. However, every time we connect to this technology, it creates paths for people to peek into our lives, our privacy. So
Right.
Because you're connecting to something.
Right. And it can be used for good, or it could be in like a hostage situation, or it could be used a bad situation used against you in some way. But we got some details on this piece of equipment that I don't think a lot of people know that police departments have.
Whether you're here, or at one of these, it doesn't matter. This can find you. The common name, Stingray. Technically, a cell site simulator. First developed for military use, it's made its way into local law enforcement. It can track a person down to the room they're in if they have their cell phone on them. Stingrays turn these into homing devices, and that's just the beginning.
These are tracking devices. This is emitting a signal. This is GPS.
Mike Mino with the North Carolina branch of the ACLU has been watching the spread of Stingrays for years.
It's my understanding that the software that a lot of these devices use is capable of capturing things like your text messages, the numbers you're calling and receiving calls from. We know for sure they're getting people's location.
Here's how it works. Cell phones are always trying to connect to nearby cell towers. A Stingray acts like a cell tower decoy. In what's called a man-in-the-middle attack, it tricks cell phones into thinking it's the nearest cell tower. Phones connect to the Stingray, and police can access a range of personal information. But they don't just get intel on one phone. Every phone nearby is forced to divert to the Stingray. Calls are passed on to a real cell tower. Data scooped up stays with police.
And people don't even know that they're being intercepted like that.
So nothing surprised me at all that the police force has an ability to tap in and track you with your cell phone. I mean, everybody has theorized that. We've known forever you can do it with cell phone towers, if you watch The Wire. But this is very clear, almost off-the-shelf technology that's the smoking gun that police departments, authorities have to track you down.
Right.
Using it, they'll say, well, we're targeting certain individuals, but the nature of the technology is so expansive that you cannot use this without countless innocent people having their data,
their privacy.
The I-Team has learned at least 3 law enforcement agencies in the Triangle have been using cell site simulators.
Yeah, and who's to say like the FBI doesn't have this, or NSA, different groups that
it started at those places,
and that it's being used on civilians.
Yeah, and I mean, cell phone's the most obvious path, but I mean, even smart, our new vehicles that have technology, you don't even need a cell phone in there. The vehicles are telling cops where they were, but continue.
And most of them have cell phone chips in the car now.
Right.
But they don't like to talk about it, and may not be allowed to. These 2 purchase orders show Raleigh and Durham police bought variations of the Stingray within the last 10 years. Raleigh's purchase order, obtained by the I-Team 2 years ago, shows the department paid more than $120,000 for the device. Separate documents obtained by the ACLU show Durham spent nearly twice that.
Boy, we need to start making these.
I know. And that's like chump change to them anyways.
Right,
for the capability.
Oh, government money, yeah.
Departments claimed not to be using one when the I-Team asked recently. Raleigh says they stopped using theirs because of outdated technology. With the Stingray, though, secrecy is part of the deal. Durham's contract with the device's manufacturer includes a strict non-disclosure clause, not just about the Stingray, but about the agreement itself and its subject matter.
There is such secrecy around this, and I think it's because it's so powerful.
I have a cell site simulator. and we do use it.
Wake Sheriff Donnie Harrison is the only current law enforcement officer we could find here or elsewhere willing to talk even a little
at least he
about the
admits
device
it.
and how it's used.
It's a very useful tool that we use, not only for the bad guys, but for looking people that are lost, looking people that say they're going to commit suicide. Sometimes we have used them for children that's missing that have phones.
And hell, sometimes they're bored and we just like to track people.
Yeah, well, that is some good applications that he's showing.
Very great use of technology,
That's all about all I'm going to say about it.
Harrison told us Wake County has had a cell site simulator since 2008. He insists they're always within the law and always get a warrant first. But
okay, that was something.
Documentation of
that was something that I was very curious about. Like, wouldn't you have to get a warrant to do this? But what they're saying is this is sucking up everybody's information. So it's like you have to get a warrant to break in somebody's house,
right?
Or to get in somebody's house as the police force. But this is like basically getting a warrant and you're going in everybody's house in the neighborhood.
Right.
It's like
you're getting everyone's information, everybody's phone call or text.
So they need like a blanket warrant? But
right.
Anyway, I mean.
Yeah, there's a lot of casualties involved in using this equipment.
Yeah.
Those warrants or of the use of Stingrays in general here or in any of the cities in which we looked.
But no, we don't like to talk about it. When a general goes in battle, he doesn't give out his battle plans.
It's the classic question, safety or privacy?
Yeah.
Law enforcement will tell you these things get bad guys off the street and help good people out in the meantime. Critics say we just don't know, and we don't, by design.
As long as we do it lawfully, I don't care what people say. My job is to keep people safe.
The public needs to know more. I think this is something that the courts need to know more about. There are real questions about whether a technology that soaks up innocent people's data can be used.
Now, you can kill this, but this is funny to me because every piece of technology has technology that soaks up people's data. As much as they claim they don't,
right.
Everything you do on the internet, everything you do with your phone, everything you do with your smartwatch, I mean, that data is going somewhere.
Everything is being tracked.
And what happens is it's in these agreements, you have to agree to all these things in order to use stuff. And it says, oh, yeah, I give the rights over to advertisers to use my data. Mm-hmm. And real quick, I want to say that, yes, these things can be used for good, and when you have a good authority, good government force using these things, they're very powerful, very useful, military force. But this technology can get into people's hands that don't have good motives,
Right.
And
I'm sure the bad guys
and
there's some bad guy out there that has this equipment.
Oh man, and you have bad cops, you have bad actors within departments that can use this, stalking a girl or something,
Right.
There's a lot of bad stuff, and people who build technology, they don't even have to have this specific piece. They can just build something modeled after what's out there on the market.
Right.
But,
well, definitely like and subscribe. Hit that bell so you don't miss any future podcasts. Come to thefreespeechforum.com.
Yeah, I don't even think we have a thread on this, but we'll have to get this going.
Hey, we will now, right?
Yeah.
We're bringing the conversation to the forum.
I want to know more about technology. I want to know more about the legal, ramifications. I'd be interested if there's more active stories about this.
Yeah.
Because
tell us if your police department in your town has this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been fun, and we'll catch you next time.